Welcome back, everybody. So we continue. We're exploring the village, aren't we? Seeing what's around. Most of these houses are now abandoned. Looks like certainly used to be a door here. Strange place to have a slurry tank. Is that a farm? Before the wall came up. We've got that mountain at the very top, might be worth visiting. Locked up? Yeah. Very fast flowing water around here.
Make do amend this, make do amend that. I just want to buy something for once.
There's some items in that garage, but obviously we can't get caught stealing them.
State of this place. Leave tomorrow if we could.
Do as you're told, right?
See that big metal bugger? I could have it. I could.
Steady on, George. It's got guns on it, you know.
Stamping it out like it owns the place.
Aye, but the robbers are proper frit of them robots. They won't try the luck here while we've got that.
You what? Roberts are frit of them Roberts? Unholy robbers? You're not making any sense there, Michael.
You've had enough. Don't know what Alf's putting in his beer these days, but it's got a proper kick. Anyway, You stay away from them machine men, all right? They won't bother you if you don't bother them.
I could take it, Mike. I could.
No, you couldn't, George. Stop being daft.
A new customer. How do? Not often we see new faces here. My name's Alf Buckshaw. Welcome to what's likely the last pub in Cumberland, such as it is. Now, what can I do for you? Bet you weren't expecting to find a place like Wyndham still ticking over after all what's gone on here, were you now? Folk will get used to anything given time. Which isn't to say, it's not nice to see some new faces coming through here now and then. Reminds a fella just how strange this all really is. The captain likes strangers too. He treats them better than he does the rest of the village. Means he can do things us regular folk can't. Oh, aye. There were a lady scientist here not so long ago. Dr. Garrow. They say she used to work at the site over the mere. Top dog too, I was told. Managed to get out while the rest of them boffins were trapped in with us. Any road, she turns up here a few months back out of nowhere and starts throwing her weight around. She did something that got the soldiers' backs up, and they stuck her in their jail on Scathamore. I reckon she came back in on one of them army expeditionary convoys. There was talk of one a few months back. First one in years. Got ambushed by outlaws, most likely. Then the doctor popped up. Only survivor, far as I've heard. Out at Slattendale, I were told. Gives you a map, and I'll mark it for you. Not that I'm telling you out, of course. That'd be gossip, and loose lips get you chucked in jail round here. You let me know if there's aught else I can help you with. Well, after it all went to cock and we got quarantined, London started sending in soldiers. To start with, folk were happy to see 'em. But after a while, it turned out there was bugger all they could do to help. When they found out they weren't being let back through the wall again, well, it got nasty. Plenty round here, I reckon. It's what it would have been like if the Nazis had invaded after all. Of course, you didn't hear that from me, all right? Who knows what them boffins were up to? But I don't think that atom plant going pop was part of the plan, do you? Or at least they told us it were an atom plant. So where are all the atoms, eh? I've heard a thing or two about radioactiveness, and by all rights, none of us should be standing here. Anyhow, I shouldn't be gossiping about this stuff. I suppose I might be able to help a friendly traveller out. What sort of gear did you have in mind? I bet you could. But you wouldn't find anything like that in Wyndham. But there's a ruined mill out on Scathamore. There's a fella up there, more often than not, and he might have what you're looking for. Fair warning, though. Out in Scathamore, soldiers don't care who or what you are. They'll shoot before they ask.
Yeah, it's got some stuff. Don't need anything though. It's always worth knowing what people have.
See you around.
Now the church.
It's a World Cup this year, isn't it?
Volunteers are required for work.
Not sure about you.
On Scathamore. Work out to help out.
Don't be causing trouble,
All right? So I said to him, where's my
let's
pal
not
John?
have any trouble.
Why here of all places? If they'd... please, I beg of you. Just forget you saw anything here and go. Please. These are awful times. If news of this gets out, things will get worse, I assure you. Please, tell no one. I know how it seems, but I would not ask such a thing if it weren't for the good of the village. It's vital the military don't learn of this. We'll tidy up, but if the captain and his toy soldiers find out, things will become so much worse here. All I can concern myself with right now is keeping this quiet. I must decide what to do about this before any soldier wanders in. I would suggest you let all this lie too. The matter is best left to the village to handle. Because if anyone so much as puts a foot out of line here, that captain claps someone in chains. So if he caught wind of a thing like this, I fear for myself and for my congregation. Besides, this is a village matter. We shall attend to it.
Great
Now,
good.
if you'll excuse me, I have some things to work out.
What do you want? I had naught to do with Maisie's death, I swear, in God's name. And neither did the vicar. He's a good man. If this gets back to the soldiers, they'll cart him and me both off to jail. I don't know who. Not us. She probably got on the wrong side of someone on account of her. But you should leave. This is village business, and none of yours. Confess? All right, look. She were good at following people, was our Maisie. Nosing around in their business. I don't know, mayhap she found summit and got silenced for it. I saw her the other night, skulking around near an old cellar not far from here. I can mark it for you, but I know naught else. And I don't want to talk about this no longer.
As we go and investigate that cellar.
You'll do the right thing, I'm sure.
Oh.
God go with you.
I'm not so sure. I'll do the right thing for me.
What in heaven's name shall we do?
Citizens of Wyndham, pagan practices of any kind are strictly forbidden. Any breach of this regulation is punishable by death.
Oh, that was a good find. Need to heal ourselves. Where were we? Oh, in Ugh. Where were we? Left to Morris Wick, instructing to kill Maisie, calling her the Vicar's spy. I need to find Morris Wick.
Citizens of Wyndham, remember, strangers may be dangers. If you encounter anyone who is unfamiliar to you, report their presence as soon as possible to the controlling authority. Your vigilance can save lives.
Back to church. His own devices.
Citizens of Wyndham, the woods are still off limits. If you need to approach the woods for foraging, request an escort at the village hall.
Ah, it's you. The shopkeeper. Good heavens above. I knew something was off about him, but nothing as foul as that. Then I must ask something of you. You're embroiled in this now, as much as we are. To find absolution, well, you must find some way to deal with Morris. An ally to those heathens in the woods is a danger to the village. Not that I'm suggesting you. Well, I'll leave it to your judgment. Thank you. It is a terrible thing to ask, I know. Now that Maisie is dead, there is no one else I could trust to be able to carry out such a task. And in the spirit of reciprocation, if you are in need of my help, you need only ask. I am here if you wish to talk, to unburden your soul. And if you'll forgive me for saying so, you seem troubled. Might I ask why? I don't suppose, well, have you perhaps been hearing voices? You must understand that I have a duty to this village and its people. I must do what is necessary to protect my flock. We have seen some very bad times here. I don't really know why such misfortune has befallen us. Only that it started with that wretched science city they built across the mere. They did something. Heaven knows what. And now it is laced with evil. You can smell it in the air. One is never truly lost. Follow your instincts and your conscience, and Providence will see you right. I can offer you something, but you must be cautious about prying too deeply. Well, I was on cordial terms with one or two of the scientists stationed up here. The important ones lodged at a manor house out in Casterfell Woods. I doubt any are still alive. But they may have left notes or papers that could prove useful to you. But you didn't hear that from me. All right. Farewell, and God bless you.
Now, do I tell the captain that someone's murdered her? Or do I investigate him myself?
Do you have a good reason to leave the village?
Shot them. Let's do a bit of investigation myself before we involve the captain.
State of this place. Leave them not sure I like the look of it.
Has been reported in the Scathamore fields. Please stay away from there until it has been sterilized.
Hello again. Shut your bloody trap before you bring every nosy bastard in here. All right, look, just hear me out, eh? See, we're a rotten one, that un. Tattling folk out to the vicar's so he can load it over us. She never had out on me, not till last night when she found that letter. Then she carried on like I'd thrown in me lot were old Hitler or summat. Called me a traitor, like I ever had any loyalty to the protocol lot. I'm no killer. Not born to it, but she were poison, that un, and so is Vicar. Summat had to be done. Him? My socks are holier than he is. We give our donations to the church, and in return he keeps the protocols sweet. Or so he says. Truth is, he worms his way into people's lives, finds out about matters that won't sit well with soldiers, and holds them over us. Blackmail it is. Pure and simple. Oh, aye. Or chuck you in that jail of theirs, which is just as much a death sentence, except slower. All I'm saying is that we messed up, with factories and machines and that. We should have stayed close to the soil. Simple as that. How is that treason? I'm not wicked, you know. I just have a purpose in life, that's all. Something better. But that Maisie, she were going to shout it from rooftops if I didn't pay to keep her and that vicar quiet. She had to go. And I had to do it somewhere Vicar couldn't just sweep it under the rug. He can't go running off to the captain when it looks like he might have blood on his hands. Please, I know what I'm asking, but let it go, will you? Give us that letter back and we can both forget all about it. I'll make it worth your while, I promise. I scratch your back, you scratch mine, eh? Fair enough. Here, you take this as a thank you, I suppose. I'm happy, you're happy. And the village doesn't have to worry about that quizzling Maisie anymore. And look, if you want to know more about her, you know, the purpose, well, there's someone I'd love you to meet. Mother Jago. Lives out by the old mine in Casterfell Woods. I'll mark the spot for you. Reckon you'll find what she has to say very interesting indeed.
It's useful. Skills 1. Gunsmith, disarm traps, deep pockets. Oh, we can't spend it in that. What can we spend it in? Oh, the ones that are highlighted. So we can either have weapon throwing, kick, or crafting speed. Weapon throwing. Might be useful. Now we can make cocktails, which we can always sell. Bonus, okay. So what's next that we have to do as part of our little trip? Do I want to report anything to the captain? I think we go back to the church and see if we can annoy the vicar.
Citizens of Wyndham,
Please,
there
God,
has been an
let the seal
increase in activity on Slattern Avoid Slattern until the area is once again declared safe.
Ah, it's you. You would listen to a man who consorts with those monstrous people in the woods? Of course I must pry when there are some who would hide secrets such as that. But extortion? The very thought. This church has a noble mission within the village. Everything I take, I do so to support that mission and to protect Wyndham. You must deal with that horrid man. Corruption like his must be rooted out. You wouldn't. Surely. I see you have sided with the captain and his soldiers. The village will suffer now, thanks to you. We've nothing to say to each other.
I haven't sided with the captain. I'm just making use of the fact. Track pre-order bonus, can't we? Next thing we have to do realistically, bakery. Don't particularly want to report anything to the captain, but Right, we're going to have to get the vicar to give us bandage. Give us that key one way or another. But bakery first.
Citizens of Wyndham, there has been an increase in outlaw activity on Slattern Dale. Avoid Slattern Dale until the area is once again declared safe.
Did you want something? He did he? So you've sided with the protocol, eh? Bloody soldiers, always digging around trying to find your secrets. Well, like I said, you won't get nothing out of me.
Well, I haven't sided with them.
I know.
Certainly voices, aren't there? Don't know how that happened. Why was he being locked up here? Who knows? His eyes said a lot. He does both. Well said. Right then. What do we get out of that? Maybe we'll report to Captain Sims and see if we get anything out of that. That's a good point. We've got those, but we can't yet level up. What we need is gunsmithing and deeper pockets. Might just report some findings to the captain, leaving out the bits that we've been up to no good.
Watch yourself, civvy.
Report anything suspicious you find, and we can see about perhaps coming to terms, you and I. The good Dr. Garrow? Not so good in my opinion. That woman is dangerous. Caught her up to her old nonsense again and incarcerated her smartly at our Scathamore camp. The prison is closely guarded, so don't even think about attempting to reach her without our permission. But that permission may be granted if you prove yourself loyal to us here in the village. Yes, what is it? Infected? You mean to say contaminated by that vile blue muck? And she would keep him hidden and endanger the whole village? Good Lord. A grisly situation. Thank you for dealing with it. Who knows what damage he might have caused had he escaped. Now do you see why this place is under military discipline? I fought rebels in the Malayan jungle, and let me tell you, that was positively genteel in comparison to this wretched village. You can hardly call them English hereabouts anymore. Something in the land here is corrupting them all. You've done the right thing coming to me. It's vital this sort of thing's nipped in the bud before it spreads. It can be tricky to tell right from wrong out here, but you seem to have the right spirit. Your assistance is appreciated. I shan't forget it. I'm willing to extend the hand of friendship to you, which would include giving you access to our camp at Scathamore. With us on the same side, if a chance for leaving this zone comes, I can promise you a good chance of seeing the outside. To be blunt, as a stranger, you're in a perfect position to help me with a delicate matter.
I'm delighted to hear it. We recently arrested a certain Dr. Garrow, one of the scientists from the research site. She contrived to escape the zone before the walls went up, but rather unexpectedly returned as part of a military convoy. More fool her. Dr. Garrow is dangerous, very clever, and egotistical enough to believe herself a magnitude cleverer yet. She's refused to tell us anything, and I refuse to stoop to Gestapo methods to force her. But a new face like yours, well, perhaps she'll talk to a stranger who plainly isn't beholden to the protocol. Ideally not. She's a willful one, our Dr. Garrow, and responds badly to demands. Show some finesse if you can. Be friendly, helpful. Shower her with blandishments. Whatever you need to get her to talk. When Garrow arrived, she demonstrated an ability to meddle with the barred machinery we've commandeered. Specifically, she disabled our camp's automatic security system and began to poke around where she wasn't welcome. It was an hour before we found her, trying to get access to one of the old barred bunkers. Who knows what damage she might have caused had she found a way inside. She left us no choice but to take her into custody, isolated in solitary confinement, where she can't play her tricks. My men claim she muttered some incantation, and that caused the gun turrets to shut off. I don't believe in such nonsense as magic, but when she was captured, all they found on her was a broken radio. And now I don't know what to think. So you see, I need to know how she did it. What trick she uses to disable our machines. I trust you'll do your best. Our arrangement will depend on your success, naturally. Here, this pass will give you free passage throughout the Skethermore camp. The soldiers on guard will allow you into the prison section, too. All the way to Garrow's cell. Learn what you can and return here. Be sure to report to me in person. But be warned, one hint of betrayal, and that pass will not save you. I hope I make myself clear. Yes, what is it? There's been a what? Sergeant, take a squad to the church at once. And the culprit? Surely not the vicar. Yes, I suppose that's true. He's perhaps the only person in this ghastly village whose rectitude is beyond question.
Well, I've made some choices then. I'm loving this, a game that makes you make choices. And every choice has a bad outcome.
Citizens of Wyndham, the woods are still off limits. If you need to approach the woods...
So we need to go to
request an escort at the
that place. So down the road and up there. Okay. A little passage, but that's one there, turn right.
Trespass is a serious offense.
We need to visit the trader. And we need to visit the prison. Trader to start with.
Wyndham, and the quarantine protocol is no longer responsible for your safety. If you approach any military areas in the area, you will be presumed to have hostile intent, and you will be fired upon.
Hello. I've not seen you before, have I? Welcome. Right, I've got a quick question for you. It might seem a bit blunt, but I've learned it avoids confusion later. You're not going to try and kill me, are you? Excellent answer. I can see we're going to get along like an house on fire. You're new around here, aren't you? Bootsy never forgets your face. And I haven't seen yours before. And you're not in uniform, which means you're not one of us, army lot. Of course not. Hey, don't let this uniform give you the heebies. In here, we're nothing but tradesman and customer, you and me. Take warning now. Outlaws have tried it on in the past. And it's made the patrols here in Skedamore a bit trigger happy. If you've plans to wander about, be careful. Soldiers won't tell you from the next bugger, and they'll shoot before they ask. Now then, if it's supplies you're after, then Bootsy's your man. I'm Corporal Bootsy, by the way. Hello. I can get my hands on stuff for trade that the folks in the village can't.
Don't want my Molotovs. Not a good thrower. You got that I do need. Well.
Nah, I've got plenty of those already.
Machine gun, pistol ammo. Don't have a pistol yet.
Have you got anything more up my street?
Giving out my axe. Keep that. Oh.
That's everything, yeah? Word to the wise. Everyone trades with old Bootsy, so there's always new things in stock. Come back and see anytime. See you around, chum.
Full health. Nice. Right, I think we'll light up here for the night. And next episode, we will continue to the prison. Thank you for watching. See you again soon.